Something happened earlier. I didn't think it was going to happen. Let me pull up Twitter as I transition to this. So right now, about an hour ago, I was formulating this topic, this segment, and I went to Twitter. This normally is an afterthought. I just want to affirm that my suspicion is correct. Okay, so I go there and I say, who do you think is the number 3 program in the SEC West? And I put LSU, Auburn, Arkansas, Ole Miss. And here was the assumption. I assumed Bama's number 1. Now that one is safe. But then I assumed most people are looking at A&M right now. It's important to note right now and moving forward, not over the past 3 years, right now and moving forward. And even as I say that, someone's still going to mishear what I'm saying. Right now, moving forward, I figured everyone thought A&M was the second best program in the conference, or in the division, rather. That is apparently not so, because I've gotten a ton of pushback on this. So Bama, I've got number 1. I'm going to make the case for A&M in a second, but here's what happened. I misread the room, because it's not 1 or 2 of you pushing back on this. Dozens and dozens of you are pushing back, and I know good and well they're not all LSU fans, maybe most of them, but not all LSU fans. So this stuff doesn't guarantee anything. But here is the premise. And again, I want to state this clearly. You may think I'm talking slow unnecessarily. I'm not. Because as sure as I state the premise here, it's going to be misrepresented. I don't care about 2019. I don't care about 2020. If this was a trophy case presentation, LSU certainly would be listed above A&M. 2021, 22, 23, 24, moving forward. The program right at this moment in time and moving forward, down the line, forward, which programs are set up better? That's it. That's all, okay? So, jockeying beneath Alabama is fascinating. Has been for several years there. But I would contend right now Alabama is as good as they've ever been under Nick Saban. So this is certainly an uphill battle for anyone. But the first thing I thought to do, I thought we were going to be building this entire segment on, if we were to look maybe 2 years down the road, well, this could be a knife fight. If I were to challenge you to think about 2023, how's this going to stack up in 2023? You could make the case Arkansas will be number 2. You can make the case Auburn, LSU, Texas A&M, Ole Miss. I guess someone could probably make a case for Mississippi State being number 2. That's down the road. That's what I thought we were going to be talking about. But now that I see there's so much pushback and so many people out there believe LSU is still the number 2 program in the West, I've asked for reasons. Like I've gotten some feedback. I think people are misunderstanding what I'm trying to say here. I'm not trying to say, well, 2019 must not have happened. Yeah, it happened, man. I was on the field. I just put footage of it up the other day. We play it all the time. I don't forget about 2019. I'm talking about moving forward. So to me, this is my opinion. Of course, it's my show. A&M's the clear number 2. This wasn't close for me. It wasn't particularly close. Could it change next year? Of course it could. Because this time, last year, I was saying this about LSU. I thought they were a clear number 2. So certainly this could change year to year. But right now, I don't get the argument. So here's my argument for A&M. You can go in the comment section if you want to and push back on this. They've taken the number 2 spot because of, first and foremost, stability. They've got stability. They've got proven leadership there. I don't have that at LSU right now. There's a lot of volatility at LSU. They've got stability at Texas A&M. There's a lot of volatility at LSU. So any of the other edges are really minute compared to that huge edge for Texas A&M, because recruiting, A&M has improved year over year. They're very comparable to LSU now. Roster is improving year over year. They're very comparable to LSU. That second point there, some would argue with, that's fine. We could debate who's got the better roster. That's fine. That's an adequate debate. But I keep on looking at this and I'm saying, where's the argument at? That stability goes a long way, guys. Understanding and having a proven commodity at head coach long term, that's a real thing to me. So that's why I put A&M at number 2. A lot of you push back on that, but 3, 4, 5 is where it gets muddy to me. Now I'll put LSU number 3. I don't have a problem with that. And then 4 and 5, we start really getting into the weeds of how much do we believe in Sam Pittman in Arkansas? Was the 2020 season just a small preview of things to come? Is the critical mass of buy-in and culture there, is it enough to overcome roster limitations relative to some of the other teams they play? That's really the more fun argument to me. But yeah, I'll put LSU as number 3. They could rectify everything this year. All these new hires could pay off, and we could look back at 2020, and I may end up saying about LSU's 2020 the same thing I'm saying right now, or at least I think, about Penn State's 2020. Maybe. The volatility down there worries me. That's all I'll say about that. So There is still a really good roster there, exceptional roster. There's still exceptional recruiting there. There are a lot of ways that LSU could erase everything and change what's coming out of my mouth. I got Arkansas at number 4. I put them above Auburn. I put them above Ole Miss. I got Arkansas at number 4 because I trust the culture there. I trust the stability there. But there's this entire over-the-cliff mentality about Arkansas. You don't find this at very many places. There are some instances where a guy that wouldn't make sense for many other programs, you find the program that he makes sense for. It's like puzzle pieces coming together. That puzzle piece wouldn't fit anywhere else on this board, but Fayetteville, Arkansas, that's where Sam Pittman fits. And so when you get that, there are these intangibles that just start manifesting themselves, and you get this sum of the parts greater than the individual pieces kind of result week after week after week. And there's this energy that you could see sort of forming around Arkansas. You felt it last year, and then they got robbed of a game, then they kept it on the rails. Could that continue to increase year over year? I'm willing to bet yes. I'm willing to believe in that enough to where I'll go Arkansas number 4. And I don't think they're going to struggle in recruiting like the last staff did. I got some stuff for you, by the way, on Arkansas's inability to recruit that will blow your mind. A stat Trey Biddy put up on hogsports.com either today or yesterday. Crazy. We're going to talk about that a little bit later in the show. But to round it out, I got Arkansas at 4. I've got Auburn at 5, and that's a new staff there, obviously, so really no clue what to expect. Ole Miss at number 6. Could easily interchange those. Could easily do that. Could easily put Ole Miss as high as number 4, and Mississippi State's my number 7. But you let me know what you think. I don't do these calls to action very often, but I'll be very fascinated to look in the comment section here and see how many people are making, and I want to stress this again, logic-based, reasoned conclusions that LSU is currently the number 2 program still in the SEC West now and moving forward. If anyone wants to prove me wrong, I'll be happy to read it. I just haven't seen it so far.